everybody.
Welcome to our new episode of Poly Live, and we're back live.
I'm Hannah.
And I'm Devin.
We're going to have a lot of fun today.
This week's theme is getting involved at the Cal Poly campus.
We're going to be chatting with people representing Greek life and also clubs and organizations here on campus.
We have some wonderful moderators today. Their names are Nabil, Drew, and Ryan, so look out for them.
If you have any questions, you can type them in the chat window, and they'll do their best to help get them answered.
So here we go. Hannah, I'm personally really glad that we're doing a Getting Involved on Campus episode because it's so important to get involved on campus.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I remember at the beginning of freshman year when you hardly ever left Trinity Hall and you just loafed around in pajamas all day.
It's true. And the fact of the matter was, I had a good time freshman year, but I'm so much happier now that I'm involved on campus and I have things that I'm doing every single day that keep me busy.
Absolutely. And it's really cool to see now that we're going into our senior year that so many of our friends from back in the day in our residence hall are so involved on campus.
I know. When we left Trinity Hall after living there together, I thought, I'm still going to see these people all the time. And I stay in touch, but it's hard to get us all together in the same place anymore.
Oh, absolutely. And it's really cool to see how people's involvement overlaps with everyone. You know, you have friends who are super involved in Ultimate Frisbee or Greek life or ASI, and then, you know, Devin and I weren't even friends freshman year. Our paths crossed again when we got super involved in orientation programs.
Yeah. I thought I didn't like you very much at first, but I came around.
Good.
Yes.
Makes me feel a whole lot better.
I'm glad. You know, it's not even about the big stuff that you do on campus, because, like, even back in Trinity, we had our friend Devin who started his very own movie club in the dorms.
He showed cool, like, vintage cult classic movies every single Friday night. I remember when they watched Animal House, there was a toga party.
That's right.
And people showed up with like, drapes over them. It was
funny.
hilarious.
Yeah. Well,
I was just going to say, you know, it makes a huge difference when people are willing to go out of their way to get involved in even the smallest capacities.
It's true, because it's not always going to be what you find at first that gets you involved on campus.
Oh, definitely.
It's sometimes the third or fourth thing that you try, but eventually I think that there really is something out there for everybody.
Oh, yeah. Everybody can find a home on Cal Poly's campus, and we're definitely going to show you a couple of places that you might find home today. One of those places might be your major. We're going to go check in with Noni, who did a correspondent video over in the Quality of Life Plus lab that's run by the biomedical engineering department, but you can also get involved if you're any type of engineer, and I'm pretty sure it's open to all majors. Why don't we check that out?
Take it away.
Here at Cal Poly, we're all about learn by doing, so we wanted to show you a snippet of what you can do within your major but outside of classes. I'm here with Allie at the QL Plus lab. Thank you for joining us today. So can you tell us a little bit about the QL Plus lab? Like, what is it?
The QL Plus lab is a lab that was donated to Cal Poly back in 2009. We're a part of senior projects and Cal Poly clubs. And so what we do here is we're really interdisciplinary. What we are trying to do is help veterans that were wounded in the line of duty. That's why this lab was donated. And so what we do is we work with people in the Cal Poly community. They come to us with problems and we try and help them.
Anyone who knows me knows that I'm obsessed with Mario Kart, so this seems like the perfect project. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
This is the blind driver project. So the idea is that there'd be a driver who can't see or is completely blind, and so they'd wear this vest, and it has sensors all along the back of it. And so if the driver gets off course, one side would start vibrating and they would know to turn the other way.
Oh. So we've shown you guys a little bit about what the QL Plus lab has to offer and how you can get more involved in your major outside of your classes. Now I'm going to go start karting right now, so back to you, Devin and Hannah.
We're here with Jenna, Strack, and Diego Silva. They're here representing Cal Poly Greek life. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what it means to be involved in Greek organizations here at Cal Poly?
Sure. I guess, would you like to go first?
Well, sure. For me, being involved in a Greek organization is being a part of something larger than the university. I was really involved with orientation programs here on this campus, and I'm going into my 4th year, and I decided that I wanted to join a Greek organization to meet more people, have more leadership opportunities, grow as a person, and so I decided to join a Greek organization, and I'm really happy with my decision and the sisters that I met.
Awesome.
For me, by the way, for parents who didn't know my title, I'm the University Coordinator of Fraternity and Sorority Life. The perspective that I think I enjoy the most right now is the idea of a lifetime membership. I still go back to my chapter at Cal State Los Angeles monthly, every now and then, say hi to all the new guys, talk with them, coach them on whatever they're going through and all that, and that's really rewarding for me, and I can see that they really benefit from it. So there really is membership beyond the 4 years at college that everyone enjoys, especially in fraternities and sororities.
That's awesome. What should students watching who maybe want to get involved in Greek life, what should they know?
I guess I'll go this. So every fraternity and sorority is founded on a bedrock of principles and values: brotherhood, sisterhood, service, benefit to society, whatever it may be. And every organization every day tries to live up to those values in various ways, programs and events, etc. I think that students who are looking to join an organization need to educate themselves on what those values are for those organizations, and ask those organizations how they live up to those values and how they fulfill them.
Yeah, and I think the best way to do something like that is to meet the people involved with Greek life. So a great way to do that for incoming students is to go through the recruitment process for both women and for men in the fall, and just see if it's something you're interested in, and if maybe not this year, in the future. I joined as a third year, so there's no shame in joining a little bit late. I'm very much enjoying my time in my organization.
Great. And what percentage of students at Cal Poly is involved in Greek life?
Approximately 16% of the campus, which is around 2,800 students, are affiliated with a Greek organization.
Awesome. And are there different types of fraternities and sororities? I know the general idea is the social fraternity and sorority. Are there other types of organizations?
We do. I guess first, to define what we define as social organizations is Greek organizations are social organizations in the sense that people come together for no other purpose other than to network and meet other people with no academic thing drawing them to the center. So what my office oversees are 3 different councils: the Interfraternity Councils, which is all fraternities and social Greek organizations; the United Sorority and Fraternity Council, which are our cultural Greek organizations; and the Panhellenic Council, which is an entirely sorority council. I don't know if you want to speak more on any one of those, but...
Yeah, so personally I'm in what you would call a social organization, a social sorority. But I mean, within my sorority there's leadership opportunities. We care a lot about academics and scholarship, and of course friendship. So really you can get out of it whatever you put into it and what you want to get out of it, and spend time with the people you want to spend time with.
And we do have partners on the other side of campus, which are your business or professional fraternities and sororities, and those are based out of our academic colleges. Members or students at Cal Poly can be a member of one of those organizations and still have a membership in a social Greek organization, but students cannot have dual memberships in 2 or more than one social Greek organization. So that's really the big difference between those two.
Got it. So how does the recruitment process really work?
If you don't mind, I'll take this one.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. The recruitment process is a little different for each one of our 3 councils. Our Cultural Greek Council and the IFC, the Interfraternity Council, is pretty similar to each other. There is an initial kickoff event which will happen in the first couple of weeks of the fall quarter, and students will hear about it. And that is an opportunity for a student to meet all the organizations at one time. After that, everyone's kind of on their own, and every student can pursue whatever organization they might be interested in. There's a calendar of events that is published, and everyone can attend all these different events, and little by little people begin to match with each other. Our Panhellenic Sorority Council has a bit more of a structured process where there is an entire registration process. Make sure you register online, and they provide a continuous structure for the potential student to check out all organizations equally and go through an entire process where they can match up to the best sorority that is for them. But that is basically the gist of our 3 council recruitment processes.
Okay. Jenna, what did your recruitment process look like?
Well, mine was a little different from the fall recruitment. I went through what we call informal recruitment, which happened in the winter, and it's just an opportunity to talk with different women in the organization and not really spend a lot of time, but just kind of get into it and see if you're the right match. But for like the formal recruitment, it's important to go, especially with sororities, and just meet the women that are involved, and it's like a mutual selection process. So you can see if you'd feel comfortable in their organization, and they can see if you would be the best fit for them as well. So it's really nice to have that opportunity.
Awesome. We do have an audience question from CP. CP wants to know, do students have to live in a house if they join a fraternity or sorority?
They do not have to live in a house. Not all of our Greek organizations have a house to begin with. The ones that do, the city of San Luis Obispo is not really structured for full-on student housing outside of the university, so usually there's a waiting line to get into the house more so than the necessity for members to live at the house.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of the time the positions, president, vice president, house chair, things like that will get an opportunity to live in, and maybe a few extra members, depending on the size.
Got you. So what can students look forward to in addition to the social aspect of Greek life from getting involved in a fraternity or sorority?
There is, again, going back to my opening statements, I think that lifelong membership is really the cornerstone of Greek life. Networking, and beyond that, there's a lot of opportunities for leadership development. Being a leader of an organization, a vice president, a treasurer, whatever it may be, a recruitment officer. There's also an opportunity to strengthen your network with alumni that come back and want to meet and organize and socialize with the younger generations of their organization. There's a lot of students that come to me day in and day out to say that they got some kind of internship or a job offer, or they're set up for a next year internship through an alumni that they met. And there is just a continuous flow of generations that come in and out that allow for that network to really come into fruition.
That's great.
Everything Diego said, I want to snap to agree because I'm so used to it in meetings, but there's a lot of opportunities involved.
And so what exactly makes Cal Poly Greek life different from Greek life on another campus?
Well, I'll touch on a little bit of statistics, and I'll let Jenna take the personal experience. Cal Poly, for being a Cal State University, is actually really great when it comes to our Greek community. We're one of the few CSUs that actually has a really big percentage population. 16% is not something that is common amongst many other California universities. Many students on our campus find the value in their Greek involvement, and they really take that head on. I think that that's definitely one of the unique areas of our university.
Great. I think from a student's perspective, having just joined Greek life myself, I find it to be a really supportive environment, regardless of what house you're in. Everyone's just, they're really, I don't know, supportive of everyone else, and they want everyone to succeed and all the houses to do well. And I really appreciate that kind of support system and that networking that's involved with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds great. So I know that sometimes Greek life maybe gets a bad rap on a lot of campuses. How does Cal Poly combat stereotypes of issues like hazing and those kinds of things?
That's a great question. And not the first time I've gotten it either. You know, this university, like every other university, has those types of problems: alcohol and drugs, hazing, sexual assault, things like that. And our Greek community has had its up and downs in those categories. What the university has done in the past couple of years that I've been here is really focus in the beginning through orientation programs and Week of Welcome on the basics of safety and keeping your friends and fellow brothers and sisters and fellow students safe. And where Greek life picks up the baton is in bystander intervention education. So when you're in the room, when it's going down, when it's happening, will you have the courage to act? And that's really the next direction that we're taking Greek life education with: new member education seminars, Greek leadership summits and leadership development, a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, I remember the new member education seminar. It was really helpful to myself and my sisters. We really appreciated it, especially going into something that we hadn't been a part of before, to kind of know that the Greek community is really looking out for us, and that not just our sisters, but other people in other organizations are also there to help us if we find ourselves in any trouble.
Great. What would be a piece of advice that you would offer students who are maybe a little bit nervous about getting involved with Greek life?
What do you think?
Well, I never would have thought that I would be in a Greek organization. Coming into Cal Poly, I was not interested, but I liked the idea. What I found is to just kind of step back. Maybe if you don't want to rush in the fall or go through the recruitment process in the fall, wait and see. Maybe it's something that you're going to be interested later on. Just get to know everyone. Have a really open mind, because there's a lot to offer, and you don't realize it until you're a part of it. And again, it's really exciting to be a part of something larger than yourself and your university. Just going across the nation and meeting people that are in the same house as I am, it's a really wonderful opportunity, and I'm blessed to have gone through the process.
Great.
You know, that's pretty funny, because I knew I definitely wanted to join a Greek organization.
See, there you go.
Day one of freshman year. But my advice to incoming students, or really any student who hasn't looked into this, is if it at all interests you, then check it out. There's no harms and no strings attached to go through the recruitment process and know for sure if this is or isn't for you, rather than wondering years after you've graduated college. If you think you want to join a Greek organization, or for that matter, a club sport, student government, whatever it is, don't be afraid to get in there and ask some questions. The worst thing that can happen is nothing. the best thing that can happen is an entire lifetime experience.
We have one more audience question from Game of Pones. The question is, where is the Greek row?
There actually is no official Greek row. Nope. Sorry. Again, the city of San Luis Obispo doesn't have a particular area outside of Cal Poly that houses students, and so that applies to fraternities and sororities. The fraternities and sororities that do have houses are kind of around the perimeter of the university, all within walking distance or so, but there's not a particular neighborhood or area that houses or even has the majority of Greek organizations.
Interesting. I know it's a little bit different, but I kind of like that. It's cool. So what would be, if you, looking back on your Greek experience, what if you could pick out one event that was maybe your favorite? What's been your favorite experience in Greek life so far?
Well, seeing as I just started, we had Greek Week this year, which was such a wonderful opportunity. Different organizations come together and we participate in like kind of Olympic style. I don't know if it's really Olympics, but it's just kind of like competitions, and we also do philanthropies and things like that within Greek Week. And it's just a whole week where we all come together and we get involved with the campus and the community. And I'd have to say that was such a great week.
Isn't there like a lip syncing contest or something like that?
Yeah, you can sing and dance and fun outfits, and you perform for everyone else in the Greek community. It's a lot of fun.
It's top-notch production.
Absolutely. It takes a lot of work too.
Yeah. You know, considering everything, I think that one of the highlight moments in my Greek experience was when I got the opportunity to go to our national convention when I was still an undergraduate. That was the first time that I went to a national convention where all our chapters gathered in Indianapolis, and that was the first time that I understood the scope of what it means to be in my fraternity. And I've seen so many students that come back from their regional conventions or their national conventions with that same look in their eye. I think that that's what ultimately sparked me to get so involved in my organization, not only as a college student, but as an alumni now.
Awesome.
We have another audience question. This one's from Jessica. Typically, how much does it cost to join a sorority and or a fraternity, and can financial aid cover those costs?
Yeah. So just so you know, was it Jessica?
Jessica.
Yeah. If you go to greeklife.calpoly.edu, that's our website, and on the right-hand side, there's a link for parents, and it actually has a quick breakdown of the dues. Dues are a little bit all over the place depending on the council, but I'll shoot them off from memory. Our United Sorority and Fraternity Council, which are our cultural Greeks, average from $75 to $125 per quarter, not including the summer. Our Interfraternity Council, which is an all-fraternity council, averages from $200 to $300 per quarter, not including the summer. And our Panhellenic organizations average from $275 to $350 per quarter, not including the summer. Some organizations may actually have summer dues, but that is just few and far between, and I wouldn't be able to tell you exactly who. That is usually what you're looking at for financial obligations.
Great. And Jessica also asks, is it difficult to work part-time, study, and participate in Greek life?
That's a great question. Actually, a lot of my sisters are very involved on campus. They have jobs, they're involved with clubs, obviously worrying about their grades, and they're able to manage their time pretty well. And that's what Greek life actually really helps with, is time management. We really encourage you to do well in classes. We encourage you to be involved. So it's absolutely doable, and we want you to get involved on campus, so we're not going to take away by being involved in Greek life.
Great. Well, I think that's all the time we have today. Thanks so much for hanging out with us.
Thank you for having us.
It's been really fun. Next, we have a video from Dance Corner, and we're going to talk about his orientation and involvement experience.
Hey everyone, welcome to Dance Corner. In this segment, I'm going to be telling you about how I got involved at Cal Poly. It all started my freshman year at Cal Poly when I was a younger version of myself. I only had one goal, and that one goal was to excel at academics and academics only. I didn't put getting involved at Cal Poly as one of my high priorities because I was only here to learn and prepare myself for the working world. I was stuck in this mindset for about 2 years, and I quickly realized that school is not all about academics and grades, but rather a wholesome experience. Although academics is a big part, there are other crucial aspects like friends, experiencing new things, honing your skills, and building character. When I began searching for aspects to apply myself in, I thought about activities that I enjoy doing in my free time. First of all, I looked into the bowling club. Bowling club is fantastic. I love bowling. I love to challenge myself to become a better bowler. When tryouts came around, I realized that there's more to bowling than throwing a ball and just knocking all the pins down. As my 4th year came around, I realized I wanted to do something like small and odd. Small and Odd is basically a group of students that like to get together and do comic improvisation. I had little idea on how to do improv or what improv was, but that didn't deter me from getting involved. Cal Poly has an immense variety of clubs and organizations that has a perfect fit for anyone. Anyone? Although my stories aren't a complete success, it helped me grow so much that it steered me towards orientation program. I know that schoolwork can be really daunting at times, but I really encourage each and every one of you to become involved here at Cal Poly because it transforms your school into your home away from home. For me, a home away from home means I have a huge support system that I can count on for anything. It gives me a sense of belongingness and helps me to grow further, not just intellectually, but in movie making and video editing. I hope that listening to my reasons for getting involved here at Cal Poly motivates you to get involved. So come open-minded and be ready to try new things. Go Mustangs!
And welcome back. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Dan's Corner. I definitely did. I found it really relatable. I went through a lot of the same stuff that Dan did.
Definitely, and I think, I'm sure played an integral role in Dan finding his support system.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, we put him in a corner, but we love him.
We forget about him sometimes, but it's okay.
That was one time.
We have a couple friends here that we're going to ask some questions to in a minute about clubs and organizations on campus, but before that, we actually have been getting a lot of questions about SOAR and how that works over the summer, and so we want to take some time to answer your questions about that.
So, Jackson McKay. Jackson asks, do we register for our classes at SOAR? The answer is no. What's really cool about being a first-time student at Cal Poly is that you get block scheduled into your classes, so you don't have to worry about registering, which is super convenient and way less stressful than having to, find all the codes and do all of the crazy stressful registering parts before you even learn how to work the system. So you will be block scheduled into your classes, and you'll get that schedule on August 7th. If you are a transfer student coming to Cal Poly, though, when you come to SOAR, you will be creating your own schedule during an advising period during SOAR.
We also have a question from Alexandra, and the question is, do we sign up for clubs during SOAR? And I'm sure that these guys can talk a little bit about that as well, but there's a lot of opportunities to do that during the school year and during the week of welcome, which is another part of orientation programs. But there's actually not that much of an opportunity to do it at SOAR, unless I'm mistaken.
That's correct. It's
Yes.
The main opportunity will be during the week of welcome during the club showcase.
Club showcase is really fun, so look out for that. Ron H. also asks, what kind of counseling opportunities are there for students who won't be attending SOAR? The best thing you can do as a student who isn't attending SOAR is email your advisor, reach out to them. You can contact them at their website's advising.calpoly.edu, and when you can go and you can find who your advisor is and shoot them an email and get started on working out classes and that kind of stuff, but you will still be block scheduled for your classes as an incoming freshman.
Great. So hopefully we answered some of your questions about SOAR. If you have any more, please feel free to ask our moderators and we can try and get to them. We're going to go ahead and ask some questions about clubs and organizations for students here on campus. So I'm going to introduce our next two guests, and this is Everette Brooks and Michelle Crawford. Can you guys tell me a little bit about what you guys do on campus here?
Yes, I work for Student Life and Leadership, and my title is Coordinator of Clubs and Organizations. So we kind of have the oversight for the club function, and we do anything from the promotional aspect to guidance, and we just enhance the club's opportunities once they petition for recognition by the university.
Great.
And I'm a program coordinator with ASI, and I work really collaboratively with Everette in regards to ASI club services and the support that the program provides to club services. You can look at our two areas as really kind of the two arms of clubs and organizations. ASI provides a lot of the administrative support to help the day-to-day operations of clubs and the club officers, and Student Life and Leadership and Everette really have that management and oversight of the clubs and organizations.
And it's important the two hands kind of balance the program, so that was a pretty good reference.
Thanks. We talked about it a little bit just now, but can you tell me a little bit more about how an incoming student would get involved in the club and organization and how they would go about finding one to get involved in?
Well, like you mentioned, the club showcase is a great opportunity. Lots of clubs are out there. They have certain sections in which they'll be promoting their club, and it's almost like a showcase because they really do a great job of archiving what they've done in the past. And they have opportunities for students to sign up for their clubs, but also if you look at their club websites, generally the information is there for some basic knowledge. But I mean, word of mouth, you're going to hear about these clubs. They're nationally ranked and world renowned, so they'll have plenty of opportunities to join the clubs here.
That's awesome.
Another great opportunity, if you're not able to connect during the week of welcome, is the first few weeks of school. A lot of clubs and organizations will have booths all around campus, whether it's in the University Union Plaza, Dexter Lawn, or Ag Circle. They're going to be everywhere, and a lot of the clubs will have information about how to join, when their weekly meetings are, and students can also look at the website events.calpoly.edu, and that will list all of the club meetings for the quarter.
Wow, good to know. I know that when I come in the fall, I'm always overwhelmed by the amount of clubs that I see around campus. Can you tell us a little bit about how many clubs we do have and how many students are involved on campus with clubs and organizations?
Absolutely. It ranges throughout the year based on new clubs always coming on, but we level out pretty much every year around 315 organizations. That includes your average club, the basket weaving club, to your sport club, to one of your independent student organizations, which might be one of your cultural Greeks, social Greeks, or faith-based organizations.
Devin, didn't you try to start a club last year?
I did. This is actually why we tried to bring you on the show. I, last year, tried to start my own club. It was called the Devin O'Brien Fan Club, and I was rejected for starting my club. Can I ask why Devin O'Brien Fan Club was rejected?
Do you have 8 friends?
How do you mean?
To start a student organization, there are a few steps that students need to take. One of them being you need to have 8 other Cal Poly students that are interested in that subject. So if you did not have a fan club of 8 students and a state advisor, that would be your first glitch in getting started.
Okay. I'm sorry, I love you, but just like not that much.
Yeah, I mean,
8's a lot.
It is a lot.
It's a lot of friends.
Because I had 7 who loved me. It was
I
funny, the eighth
average
person-
at 9.
I don't think that was
Yeah.
So
Okay, well, it's disappointing, but I guess it makes sense. Can you tell me a little bit more about how to go about starting a club if you come in as an incoming student and there's something that you're interested in that we don't have? What are the avenues that you go through for that?
Well, it's kind of interesting that you said something that we don't have, because usually the plethora of clubs kind of like is enough out there. You can usually join one and do a spin-off. But in the event that we do not have something and you'd like to get something started, like she mentioned, 8 people, petition for recognition, you start some bylaws. There's a template on the ASI website on how to do that. And you state your purpose, the reason why you think this club is going to be beneficial to the university and the local community or the nation at large, or even globally if you want to take it there. And what they'll do is they'll turn that in for processing. They'll have a one-on-one meeting with me and state their purpose. Once again, get a faculty or staff advisor, state employee, and that's usually the first steps.
Cool. That makes sense.
So we have a couple audience questions from World of Hannah Craft, which is weirdly similar to my name.
It is.
When do clubs have their meetings?
they vary throughout the days and times of the week. I mean, we have some clubs that will meet Mondays at 8 a.m., some meet Sundays at 10 p.m. A lot of student organizations meet Thursdays at around 11 a.m. That it was historically known as UU hour when classes were not scheduled. However, classes now are few and far between scheduled, so some clubs still hold them, but really that's where I encourage, if you're interested in learning about clubs, the first step really is to check out the ASI website. It's asi.calpoly.edu, and we have a full directory of all currently chartered clubs. So you're able to go and see the 315 clubs, what their purpose is. Some also have links to their external websites that have additional information. Otherwise, check out the events.calpoly.edu website, and that will tell you when all of their meetings are.
Awesome. One more audience question from Elaine Fisher. Does Cal Poly have a Quidditch club?
Currently, we do not.
Elaine Fisher, you should start the Cal Poly Quidditch club.
Quidditch club?
Quidditch. Like
Harry
with the snitch.
Of course.
And the broom.
Of course.
Yes. Yes.
Kind of like our Bronies and Pegasisters club. Sounds maybe a little in the same fan base.
I'm pretty sure playing Quidditch is more fun than watching TV.
Well, I don't want to be rude to the Bronies and Pegasisters, Can you tell us, we were talking about Bronies and Pegasisters before the show. Can you tell us a little bit about that club? I think it's one of our more unique clubs on campus.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yes, it is.
It's one of our clubs, and their entire purpose is they have come together as a group of students that have a real passion about watching My Little Pony, and they watch it on a weekly basis together. They have a number of club officers to help organize all of their activities, and one of their main goals is, you know, promoting friendship and fun throughout the Cal Poly community. Sounds like a great time to me.
You know, maybe we kind of talked about this before the show, and we have a poll going on right now about what your dream club might be. That sounds kind of, you know, dreamed up.
Yeah.
I know that if in a perfect situation, my dream club would be a stress bakers club. I know I bake when I get stressed out, so I could have, you know, anyone else who gets stressed out and likes to bake cookies. We could come together and bake cookies and eat cookies together. That sounds great.
That's a pretty
right?
good one. Yeah.
What's your dream club, Devin?
My dream club has always been the Worm Club. If you ever, I love to dance, and one move that I'm always working on but I can never master is the worm. I'm getting better every day though, and I've always felt like it'd be a great place to sort of have people come together who are still working to learn the worm, and we could, I don't know, learn it together and do it coordinated, like a coordinated 10 people doing the worm
like
at the same time.
Like a worm flash mob.
Yeah. The thing, I bet you that I could get 8 people for a worm club. Would you join?
No.
Oh, well, we'll find 8 people, okay?
We actually have a number of dance-related clubs, both sport club and just more of the recreational club. So you might be able to partner somebody to help you out developing that skill.
I might.
Yeah. There's a ton of clubs out there. I mean, what kind of different variety do we have going on?
Do you want to take that one? We have.
Well, we have anywhere from the chess club, bowling club, all the way to some organizations that have academic affiliations, university interests. We have religious organizations as well. So it kind of crosses the gamut of any coordinated thought effort that students can get behind, get a faculty advisor, make sure it meets the university's protocols as far as a registered organization, and they're pretty much on their way. And a lot of times what happens is that throughout the year we have clubs and organizations that have either alumni or they bring professional speakers here, so there is a component where they can reach forward to potential employers and gain, some good job opportunities as well.
The variety of clubs really spans. I mean, you have academic, honor, professional, social, Greek, professional. Did I already say professional?
Yeah.
Super
Sport,
professional.
super honor. I'm now probably repeating, but I think there's about 15 different categories of clubs. Again, if you check out the ASI website, you're able to search either by affiliation or type or alphabetically. So we've made it pretty easy for students to be able to go on and try and find the things that they're interested in.
We also have some breaking news from our online chat. Elaine and Jackson have decided to start a Quidditch club together in the fall.
Please let me know
So
when
there
the
you go.
first meeting is, because I will be there.
If you need help with the process, my office is located in the Epicenter. Come and see me, or Everett will help you get started.
Can I be the seeker?
No, Hannah. Anyways,
Okay.
oh, look at this.
Wait, that's so great.
The poll results, here's one cool club that we heard about from the poll results.
The Dream Club.
Ready? Disco hopscotch.
That's no joke.
That's not a joke.
That sounds awesome.
That is dead serious.
Can we do the disco hopscotch on roller skates?
No.
No?
Everett might have a problem.
Yeah, not on campus. Actually, we do have a hip hop Congress club, and possibly they can coordinate with them and get some good events going.
Cool.
So yeah, let's bring it to San Luis Obispo County. Let's do it.
Disco hopscotch.
It's actually not too far-fetched because the bowling alley downstairs has disco night bowling.
That's right.
So if you get some glow-in-the-dark tape, you could
We
kind of
hopscotch down the lanes.
to go bowling. Yes.
Right.
I'm full of ideas today.
To get a little bit more serious again, we have another audience question. Does it cost money to join a club?
Generally some clubs that do a lot of travel and organizational things, they may have dues associated if they belong to a national governing body. But in general, most clubs do not have a high due structure associated with them. Mm-hmm. And there are some ways of getting assistance if they do get a club started. And Michelle has some intricate knowledge on that.
Why, thank you. Once a club is established, there is funding available to them that is provided via our board of director or ASI board of directors. And so a chartered club can submit an application for either $350 or $1,500 to go towards supporting their club. So if it's a brand new club just trying to get off their feet and wants to provide pizza for their first meeting and get some t-shirts, they could apply for this money and get up to $350 to go towards supporting their general expenses. Or for some of our more formal and organized clubs, if they're holding a large event on campus that is open to a broad range of students, they can apply and receive up to $1,500 of funding to support their event. So there are ways to work around if a student wasn't able to pay the dues. Clubs do have additional ways of seeking that money to help support it.
Great. Can you give us say that we're incoming students, give us a little piece of advice on the best way to find the club that's right for us?
Well, one of the things you could do, and it depends on the category, if it's academically based, you can find it that way by virtue of your classroom, people that you're going to meet. And also, you're going to walk around, Cal Poly Pride, Mustang Way, they're going to be wearing their shirts. And they're going to identify themselves not only at the Week of Welcome Club showcase, but they're going to be walking around as part of the attire here, and they're going to let you know what club and organization they belong to. So they're word of mouth, you'll see stakes up with informational sessions on, we're going to start meeting at this location. So the campus is usually a great poster board for acknowledging where, when, and how clubs are going to operate.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for your time. That's all the questions we have, but I certainly had a lot of fun interviewing you guys.
Yeah,
thank
definitely.
you.
Thanks.
We're gonna send it over now to Noni, who has another video for us where she interviews some student life and leadership resources we have on campus.
Hey everyone, my name is Noni and I will be your field correspondent for today. We will be talking with the cross-cultural centers on how incoming students can get more involved with some of their programs. And that will be including the Pride Center, the Gender Equity Center, the Multicultural Center, and SAFER. I'm with Erin from the Cross-Cultural Center, Clay from the Multicultural Center, hi, Tammy from the Gender Equity Center, Adam from the Pride Center. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. So can you talk a little bit about your department, like what you do?
Sure. So my name's Erin Eccles. I'm the Assistant Director of the Cross-Cultural Centers here at Cal Poly. We're a brand new organization of the Pride Center, Multicultural Center, and Gender Equity Center. And we are coming together to do a lot of programming and services for students who fall under any of the identities within those communities.
What's the objective behind the structure of the cross-cultural centers? I know there's like 3 separate areas and they all form to work together.
Sure. Yeah, well, we recognize that students don't just identify with one aspect of themselves, and we wouldn't want for people to have to say, I'm a student of color, so I'm going to hang out in the Multicultural Center. I'm an LGBT student, I'll hang out in the Pride Center. But to understand that people have a lot of identities and interests, and that all of those can intersect, and that we're going to be really cognizant of that.
The Multicultural Center holds different events throughout the year. We have one that's monthly called Another Type of Group. We also have cultural discussions monthly where we discuss different religions, cultures, any sort of things students are interested in that may not be normally discussed in Asian Pacific Islander Month, Black History Month, or Latino Heritage Month, or Native American History Month.
We provide certain programs such as Let's Talk Sex, when we have a support group and we talk about anything and everything under the sun involving sex, sexuality, relationships. We have a gender buffet when you can take any topic that you can think of and we basically dissect it and have like an open platform for students to learn from each other and from different guest speakers around campus.
The Pride Center is an LGBTQIA resource center, and LGBTQIA stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, queer, questioning, intersex, and allies. Another thing that we do is Pride Month, and so each year we celebrate our community. We have a lot of social events, a lot of really fun events. A particular favorite is our Pride Prom. So individuals can get dressed up and get fancy and have a night of dancing, and we even have a prom court to crown at the end of the night as well.
What?
So we just got done talking with the cross-cultural centers on campus, and if you would like to get more involved with any of these centers, you can visit their website, culture.calpoly.edu. You can email them, culture@calpoly.edu, or you can check out their Facebook pages. Back to you, Devin and Hannah.
Thanks, Noni. So those are some really great resources and other great opportunities to get involved. Like we said, we talked a lot about ways to get involved on campus today, whether it's a club sport or joining something like orientation programs or even getting involved in your residence hall. There's lots of ways to really make Cal Poly your home.
Yep. And it's really just important to put yourself out there and try different things, and I guarantee you that there's a place for you here on campus.
I know I've definitely found my home here within orientation programs, and I feel like no matter what, I will always have a support system. And kind of like Diego said, even when we graduate, I feel like we're going to be able to come back and still feel comfortable here. So that's really lucky to have.
It is. Anyways, that brings us to the end of our episode. It was an action-packed one for sure.
It was fun.
It was. I had a blast.
Ditto.
We're going to continue answering your questions in the chat, but if you think of any more later, please send any questions to orientation@calpoly.edu.
Or you can ask us on Facebook.
And you should like us on Facebook. I heard news today that the Poly Live Facebook page eclipsed 600 likes.
Go us!
Completely made my night.
Yes.
Our next episode is going to be on July 31st. It's going to be an academics episode, so it's going to be very, very exciting.
And in the meantime, you should definitely be maintaining those photo contest entries. Make sure you're hashtagging PolyLive on Twitter and Instagram. And I still think it's weird that you can hashtag on Facebook, but those pictures in your green and gold and your Cal Poly apparel, maybe if you're coming to SOAR, you should take a picture. Submit it to our photo contest. Sounds like a good idea to me.
Sounds like a great idea to me.
Great idea.
Please make sure to fill out the poll as we leave. It's there for our feedback, and we'd love to get it from you.
We're going to cut audio in about 30 seconds, and when we do, Devin and I are going to bust a move.
Because I love to dance.
He's going to do the worm.
Am I?
Yeah.
Okay.
See you guys later.
Thanks, everybody.